The game that changed everything. The first time Daniel saw her, she was standing alone on the basketball court. The sunset painted the sky in deep orange, and the soft wind moved her hair gently. She held the ball in her hands, calm and confident. She bounced it once, twice, then she shot. Swish. Perfect. Daniel couldn't look away. There was something about her, something powerful, something dangerous. He walked closer. Nice shot, he said.
Not on my
She
watch.
turned and looked
Too
at him.
slow.
Her eyes were calm, but full of fire. Thank you, she replied softly. Her name was Elena. From that day, he came to the court every evening, and she was always there. Sometimes they played together. Sometimes they just talked. Sometimes they said nothing. But the silence between them was never empty. It was full of tension, full of energy, full of something neither of them could explain. One night, after a long game, they stood very close, both breathing fast, both smiling. You're getting better, she said. Daniel laughed. That's because of you. She stepped closer, close enough that he could feel her warmth, close enough that his heart started racing. You watch me too much, she whispered. He smiled. Maybe I like what I see. She didn't look away. Seconds felt like hours. The world around them
shoot.
disappeared.
Not on my watch.
Just the court, just the
Nice
night,
try.
just the two of them. From that moment, everything changed. Basketball was no longer just a game. It was their connection, their excuse, their beginning. Because sometimes the most beautiful love stories start with a simple game.
After that night, nothing between Daniel and Elena was the same. They still played basketball, they still laughed, but now every moment meant more, every look lasted longer, every smile felt dangerous. Daniel started thinking about her all the time, her voice, her eyes, the way she moved, and he knew she felt it too. He could see it. One evening, the court was empty, the lights above them glowed softly, the world was quiet, just the sound of the ball, bounce, bounce, bounce. Elena stopped playing. She looked at him. Why do you come here every day? She asked. Daniel stepped closer. He didn't want to lie. I come here for you. She didn't speak, but her breathing changed. He could feel it. She stepped closer too. Now they were only inches apart, so. What happens now? She whispered. Daniel looked into her eyes. He had never been this close to her before. Now. He said quietly, I stopped pretending. Silence, but it wasn't empty, it was alive. She smiled, not a friendly smile, not a polite smile, something deeper, something real. She reached for the ball in his hands, but her fingers touched his, soft, warm, electric. Neither of them moved away. Time stopped. Daniel felt his heart beating harder than ever, not from the game, from her. She looked at him in a way she never had before, not as a teammate, not as a friend, as something more. You make me nervous, she said softly. Daniel smiled. You make me forget everything. She laughed quietly, and in that moment, he knew, this was no longer just basketball, this was desire, this was connection, this was the beginning of something neither of them could control. Days passed, their connection grew stronger. People started noticing the way they looked at each other, the way they stayed together after everyone left, the way they existed in their own world. One night, as they sat on the empty court, Elena rested beside him, their shoulders touched. Neither moved away. Daniel, she said quietly, yes? I'm glad you came that day. He turned to her. So am I. She looked into his eyes again, and this time, she didn't look away, because sometimes, one person, one moment, one game, can change your life forever. The nights on the court became their secret world, a place where nothing else existed, no past, no future, just now, just them. Daniel began to notice the smallest things about Elena, the way she bit her lip when she was focused, the way her eyes searched for him without realizing it, the way her body relaxed when he stood close. One evening, it started to rain, soft, slow. The drops touched the court like whispers. Elena. We should go, Daniel said, but she didn't move. She stood there, her hair slowly becoming wet, her shirt clinging slightly to her skin, and she was smiling. I like it, she said. Daniel laughed nervously. You like the rain? She stepped closer. I like this moment. His heart pounded. Rain fell between them, around them, but neither of them cared. You're different when you're with me, she said quietly. Daniel swallowed. I feel different when I'm with you. Her eyes softened. She stepped even closer, close enough that he could feel her breath. Close enough that every thought disappeared. Before you, she whispered, this was just a court. She looked around. Now it's something else. Daniel reached out slowly, not touching her, just close, giving her time, giving her a choice. She didn't step back, she stayed, and in her eyes, he saw trust, desire, and something deeper, something real. You changed everything, she said. He shook his head gently. No, we changed everything. The rain grew heavier, but they didn't run, they didn't hide. Because this moment, this feeling, was worth everything, and for the first time in his life, Daniel wasn't thinking about the next game, he was thinking about her. Because sometimes, the real victory is not winning a game, it's finding someone who makes you forget the score. The rain stopped, but neither of them moved. Elena stood in front of Daniel, her eyes quieter now, but deeper than ever. Something had changed between them, something neither of them could undo. In the days that followed, the court didn't feel the same, it felt smaller, more personal, more dangerous, because now, every accidental touch wasn't an accident, every glance meant something, every second carried weight. One evening, Elena arrived earlier than usual. Daniel saw her from a distance. She wasn't playing, she was waiting. For him, he felt it instantly, that pull, that invisible force that always brought him back to her. He walked toward her slowly. She didn't smile, not at first, she just looked at him, as if she was memorizing him. You're late, she said softly. He smiled. You were waiting. She didn't deny it. The air between them felt warmer, closer, more honest. I have to tell you something, she said. Daniel's heart began to race. He stepped closer. I tried to stay away, she continued. Her voice was barely above a whisper, but every time I left, something pulled me back. She looked into his eyes. It was you. Silence, but it was the loudest silence he had ever felt. He reached for her hand. This time, he didn't hesitate. Her fingers wrapped around his, perfectly, naturally, as if they had always belonged there. I don't want this to be just moments, she said. I don't want this to be just nights on a court. Daniel stepped closer. It won't be. Her breathing softened. Because you're not just part of the game anymore, he said. You're the reason I play. She smiled, and this time, it wasn't mysterious, it wasn't guarded, it was real, complete, they stood there together, not as strangers, not as teammates, but as two people who had found something unexpected, something rare, something that started with a simple bounce of a ball, and became something neither of them ever planned. Because sometimes, you go to the court to play, and sometimes, you leave with something much more, not a victory, not a trophy, but a person who changes your life forever. This story might be continued on this channel. Please subscribe to our channel for wonderful mysterious fantasy and real stories in different topics.